Hey guys, it's Lita. Hope you're all amazing. And if you are not, I hope my video puts a smile on your beautiful faces and makes you laugh. You should just go get yourselves tea, coffee. Not that when I say this, you actually really go do that. Or just, kick back in your chair or whatever. Because in this video, it's going to be pretty much me just doing the rambles, doing the anime rambles. I just wanted to go through all the anime that I watched or I'm currently watching right now, because I like doing these kind of videos because it seems that when I did the September video, people were interested in what I was watching and stuff, so it's a mix of like old and new. Mostly it's old, which is good because, I like my old anime series. So without further ado, let's just get talking all the anime. So I'm gonna try and keep it short and sweet as possible, because I don't want this video to be too long. I say that, but then it ends up being like 30 minutes long. So the first series that I completed during the month of April, finally, this is one that a lot of my mecha people or friends have been itching for me to watch or check out. There is fellow YouTuber Drake, and there is podcaster GJM. There is Kay from K-Chan's Anime Reviews, a fellow blogger friend. There is Scott from Mechanical Anime Reviews. I nearly got that wrong. All these people had been dying for me to watch a particular Gundam show. And it's taken me forever to actually complete it because it's like 50 episodes and then there's a movie, which I thought I finished it when I completed all the 50 episodes, but no, there was the movie. And that is Gundam 00, which I can finally say I have completed. And now that I've completed it, I am slowly deciding how I want to talk about it, because I really do, I know we're talking about it now, but I am dying to just talk about it, but I'm just dying to go into really big detail. I'm debating if I want to do a post or a podcast for Gundam 00, to be honest, and I'm sort of leaning towards right now doing a podcast just on Gundam 00 because there's a lot to cover in it. But to give a brief synopsis on Gundam 00, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this series, there's a lot of stuff. It's surrounded on a group called Celestial Being, and they basically want to eradicate war, and they're following this 200-year-old plan by this guy, scientist guy. He kind of looks like Shinji's father from Evangelion. He kind of looks like that. I can't remember his name. He goes with A, and we know my pronunciation in Japanese, it's absolutely terrible. Who wants to reform the world and eradicate war. So Celestial Being do these things called interventions, following this 200-year-old plan to eradicate war, bring peace to the world. What's not new with Gundam and stuff? It's always about peace, world peace, blah blah blah. Fossil fuels are running out among 3 main groups, and they're all fighting over it. And that's the basic premise of the story. Attempt doing a podcast. There's a lot of research for me I need to do personally, just to refresh my memory, because, this Gundam series was recommended to me because it's not really talked about a lot. It was made in 2011 by Studio Sunrise. After watching it, I agree with the people that I mentioned already, that I agree with you guys that Gundam 00 is definitely not talked about a lot. It has such a massive cast of characters. There's loads of characters, but it centers on obviously our Gundam Meisters, the main group, which contains Setsuna, who is a psychological mess. There is Locon Stratus, who's got a lot of issues. We have Aliaha, who is named after the song, Alleluia, Alleluia. That's funny. As soon as I saw the name, it made me think of the song, Alleluia, Alleluia. Oh my god. Then there is Terrier, who looks like he's got his personality up his arse, basically. Kind of arrogant personality. It focuses on these 4 Gundam Meisters, mainly, who are with their group, Celestial Being, and yeah, the real focus is on them. And Gundam 00 has so much emotional draw to it, especially learning the backstories of the Gundam Meisters and the backstories of some of the other characters, even the side characters. The Gundam 00 did an amazing job for me with learning regarding backstories, because it's great to at least get a little bit of backstory about any character, but sometimes in a show you don't get that. But with Gundam 00 you get it, you get backstory, and it really made me fall in love with the majority of most of the cast of characters. And there is such there is a lot of suffering in this show, a lot of turmoil as well, particularly on our Gundam Meisters, their reasons for fighting, and you really get to know them. And I feel like I got to know every single one of them and why they joined Celestial Being. Particularly Setsuna got me. Like I said, he is a psychological mess. Oh my god. I was never bored, like, for a single second with Gundam 00. But what I'll say, when I first started watching it, probably up till episode 5 is when I began to feel invested in the story. After that, I was completely hooked. I really enjoyed the first season and the second season. I love the TV series. Then you get to the movie. The movie is the main conclusion of the whole series, and I mean, yeah, I enjoyed the movie, and I do have mixed feelings about that more than the TV show. But I just need to say one thing about Gundam 00, particularly regarding its character cast, is one character that I have found to be the most useless character out of any Gundam series I have watched. Even worse than, what's her name? That pink-haired girl from Gundam Seed who ended up, you know, dying. And she used Kira, I can't remember her name. Well, she's that forgettable, isn't she? Was a princess in Gundam 00 called Princess Marina Ismail. And she's just absolutely useless. Oh, she's like, it's like watching paint dry on a wall. She's just uninteresting. She brings no interesting aspect to the plot whatsoever. She just sits there and whines that she wants peace and everything, and the war to stop going on. I'm just like, shut up, girl. Go back to your royal palace. Just stay there. Honestly, Gundam 00, I'm going to go into heaps more detail about in a podcast. I've got to do, you know, the planning and stuff, but I will let you guys know when I get around to doing that. And I say a podcast because I forgot to mention that I started up my own podcast. It's called That Nerd Leader. You can go, I'm going to put a link to everything down below. You can go subscribe. It's on iTunes. It's on the app called Anchor. I was going to announce this in an update video, but I just thought no update video. So yeah, so you can look out for that. I will let you guys know when I do a Gundam 00 podcast. But the next couple of ones I'm watching right now is in the spring 2018 season. Since I'm watching these currently right now, I added 2 more spring 2018 anime that I'm watching, but I'm going to leave that for my May, what I watched in May video. So the 2 spring 2018 seasons I was so hyped to watch because I'm trying to get back into my seasonal game, but not overloading myself. But these 2 series I just had to watch, and those 2 are Amanchu Advanced, which is season 2 of Amanchu, and Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory, which I have already talked about my feels about Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory. You can go watch my video, which I made on a spur of a moment because I had too many feels. I've loved that show for over a decade, and I'm so happy that it is back after 13 years. But yeah, Full Metal Panic is just blowing it out of the water right now. If you really want to know my full thoughts on Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory, you can go watch the video that I'll link down below, pouring out my feels. It's just, oh my god, it's everything that just more of what I thought it would be. And the other show that I always look forward to, which right now I've been watching every Sunday morning, is the 2nd season of Amanchu, which blew my mind when it was announced last year, or I think this year, that we're getting season 3 of Free, which is this summer. Oh my god, Free boys, I get to see my Rin. You have no idea. I'm so excited. Yeah, and second season of Amanchu, I was not expecting that. I was like, oh my god. If you don't know what Amanchu is about, friendship and scuba diving mainly. It's slice of life. It's by JC Staff, and this is actually one of my favorite animes by JC Staff, particularly now. It's about a girl named Teko who comes to a new like countryside, seaside town, and she's very full of anxiety and insecurities, and she meets Pikari, who totally opens up her world, and it's all about their friendship and how Teko just begins to change, takes more risks, and becomes less afraid of doing things. That's the basic premise of the story, and it's so wonderful, and that's why people end up feeling relatable to it. I'm totally bonded with Teko's character. She's just, but now seeing her in season 2, she's just she's so adorable. So is Pikari. Just their friendship just keeps going that extra notch up every like episode. I just love seeing their daily antics. I really do. It's just, Amanchu is one of them shows that just, it's so bloody soothing to watch. It just makes me forget about bloody real life. It really, really does, and takes away the stresses, and the animation really adds to it. It's so visually beautiful to look at. I love the particular scenes with the water. Oh, yes. I love it so much. Amanchu is a very favorite anime for me now because it gave me a new appreciation for the slice of life genre as well. Because I would never really big into the slice of life genre up until I watched Amanchu, to be honest. Amanchu changed my perspective on it when it came out in 2016, honestly, and that's why this show means a lot to me. So if you're not watching Amanchu and you need something just to de-stress with, just do it. Just take my word for it, seriously. It will be the most soothing thing you will watch, honestly. Gundam 00, Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory, and Amanchu you can all watch on Crunchyroll, by the way, just so you wanted to know where you could watch it. I should really start saying that where you should watch it, but most of you guys can just type it in the internet and be like, yeah, this is where I'm gonna watch it. I was in a kind of off mood during some time in April, and I wanted to watch kind of a messed up anime, and I decided to watch a particular one that is most hated on because it's dubbed as like the worst anime to some people they've seen, and I decided to watch School Days. I said it, I watched School Days, and honestly, it was surprising to me that School Days was on Crunchyroll, of all things. I'm like, are you serious? It's on Crunchyroll? Oh, that was surprising. So, yeah, I watched the whole of School Days, and after watching it, for me, School Days is not the worst thing I have ever seen. It has one of the, well, worst openings for me. It's just, ugh, no, just hate the opening theme. Regarding people tell me about the ending of School Days, it's just like, what the hell? I was bursting out laughing. I'm like, what is this? This is such a melodramatic ending. God. And just for the record, if you don't know what School Days is about, it's about a romance love triangle stuff. It's about a guy named Makoto who ends up falling in love with these two girls, or they end up falling in love with him as well, which is Katsura, who is very reserved, shy girl. Oh, the usual. And we have the opposite of her, Seikai, who is, you know, confident and kind of flirtatious. And yeah, it was surprising to me that how much of a jerk Makoto is. What I saw in School Days was people might not even see the bigger picture, to be honest. That there is a lot of complication with the three characters. You know, there's a lot of cheating and a lot of melodrama. So much melodrama, especially the bloody ending. especially the ending. I'm not gonna say what the ending is, I don't want to spoil it for anybody else. Honestly, School Days, you know, you think, oh my god, no, how could he do that? You know, you're gonna have them kind of moments while you're watching the show, because I was. But at the same time, it actually really bounces off of how it is dating and love in real life, to be honest. And that's what I saw in the three main characters, and that their actions, you would think, oh my god, I would never do that. But then I think, wait, real life, people actually do that. They do that kind of stuff to each other. And I really like that perspective, to be honest. So I would not say that School Days is not the worst anime I've seen. It's not something in particular I would rewatch again, unless it was with a friend and they wanted to watch something terrible and have a laugh, or do a drinking game with, I don't know. I'm not someone that regrets watching it. It's not like the worst thing to me. On a happier one that I watched, well, I guess it's kind of happy, but it had me in tears. I was waiting during the month of April for one particular show on Netflix to come or become available. That was Violet Evergarden by Kyoto Animation. I've been waiting for this one for ages. Just for the record, I actually have done a podcast episode on Violet Evergarden for my podcast, That Nerd Leader. So I'll link my podcast, like I said earlier, down below. It's like 40 minutes long because I had a lot to say about Violet Evergarden. It had me in tears. It is such a powerful anime, and as to see why people have loved it and talked about it so much, the animation, first off, well, you know, Kyoto Animation, absolutely phenomenal. I said it in my podcast episode, it is absolutely phenomenal. The detail, especially in Violet's robotic arm, oh my god, the detail and how many drawings and sketches to do that one little thing is, it's amazing to me. Violet Evergarden is about a girl named Violet who is used by the military as, you know, a weapon of destruction, just a, you know, destructive kind of soldier. And she's really young, god, heaps young. She's like 14 in the anime. I did not realize she was actually 14. She looked 16 to me. She ends up losing somebody very important to her known as the Major, which is, well, her major. And she doesn't know how to move on with her life, and that's when she ends up coming to work for something called the Postal Service, and she wants to become a auto memories doll, which writes letters for people. Loved what this show was about letters, about writing letters. Violet Evergarden's episodic approach, getting to meet all the people Violet did through the course of getting to the goal of becoming an auto memories doll. She has no capacity about human feelings, human emotions. So when she first starts out writing letters like they're a report, you know, from having a military war background. And through meeting all the people that she meets, through all the experiences, she becomes to realize her own feelings and be her own person, really, because up until now, she relied on the Major so heartedly. Like everybody tells you for Clannad, you need a tissue box. You need like 1,000 tissue boxes for Violet Evergarden, because there are particular episodes that really hit me or hit you in the feels, particularly episodes, I think it's 8 and 7 or 6. I just loved the message behind it about letters and the significance of them, because, you know, we all have the internet now, you know how big the internet's got on social media, and it just when I was watching Violet Evergarden, it reminded me of when I still kind of do it now. I don't do as much, obviously, but I would write letters to my pen pal that is in New Zealand. That just reminded me of that. And I would rather write a letter, to be honest, than sometimes an email, because, you know, letters just have more sentimental value, and that's what really Violet Evergarden shows. And it's just a big basket full of emotions. It really is, this show, and I highly recommend watching it in the dub. The dub for Violet Evergarden is amazing. Everybody in it is on point with all their characters, especially Erica Harlacher, who is known for doing the voice of Kim Impossible, the cartoon, funnily enough, and she's known for doing the voice of Kirapika for Hunter x Hunter, which I had no idea she doing a boy's voice. Wouldn't have picked that, but the way she captured Violet as this really curious little mouse approach in her performance, it was, oh, I loved it so much. Just every time she opened her voice, she just made Violet to me this precious, precious thing that I just, you end up loving so much, and Violet just all around is such a precious thing. So just, if you have to definitely be in the right mood to watch Violet Evergarden, trust me, you have to feel like you're ready for a full of emotional feels. Don't watch it when you're sad, trust me, just don't. The next series that I watched were two more after this I have to talk about. I watched on a random whim. I borrowed it from my library, actually. It was on Blu-ray. It was one that I'd wanted to watch for quite a long time. It's another short series. It's called Number 6. And Number 6 is, well, about two guys, and I got told there was like yaoi traits in this, but really it's not yaoi at all, trust me. I mean, the guys do share a couple of kisses, but I'm not going to spoil any more than that, Dorian. There's no sexual graphic scenes or anything. It's nothing like what people are saying about it. But Number 6 was an incredibly interesting watch. I absolutely loved it. It's about a dystopia, about, where there's the higher class and the lower class, and it focuses on a boy named Shion. He's in this perfect world where everything is dandy. He has all the luxuries in the world, great education, but he feels like there's something missing, and it feels like the world that he's living in, the utopia, there's secrets behind it, dark secrets that of course nobody would know about. And that's when he meets a boy named Rat, or his real name, which I've totally forgotten, is Nezumi, but mostly in the anime he goes by Rat. And he meets Rat, who is from the lower class, on the outer walls of this little utopia, and he pretty much says to Shion that this is not what you think it is, this whole perfect world. And that's when Shion's eyes are totally open, because he helps Rat. Then he gets found out by the, I guess we'll say the utopia's government, that he helped out like a refugee or a runaway. And he makes him a criminal. It's only 11 episodes long, but it was such a really interesting watch. How things unraveled in the end is kind of still a bit baffling to me, honestly. I mean, I was satisfied with how the show was handled. I love the relationship between Shion and Rat as it grew through the course of things. I love the dub, actually, which Shion is played by Greg Ayres, and the guy who plays Rat, he's not that well known, but Greg Ayres was amazing as Shion. Number 6 is a great little kind of like sci-fi drama watch with what looks like to be a potential relationship between two guys forming. It's kind of weird between how it ends with Shion and Rat. Honestly, I say that there's a couple of kisses shared, but you just gotta watch it for yourself if you're really that interesting and wanting to know. But there's no sexual graphicness or anything. I swear on my life there is not. But I'm not sure where you can actually watch Number 6. If you're in America, because it's not on Australia on Crunchyroll, but if you're in America, I'm sure it's on Crunchyroll for you. I didn't find that out, I'm sorry. Yay, last two things. Oh my god, this video is going to be so long. I can already tell. The next thing I watched actually was a live action film. And it's one I had been wanting to watch for so long, and it came on Anime Lab just last week. That is the Rurouni Kenshin movie. Now I know there's 2 more movies after this, but I watched the first one on Anime Lab, and oh my god, this is probably the best live action anime movie or adaptation I've seen yet. It was great. They incorporated the segment of story from the seasonal 1 anime and in the manga where it's about Megumi making the drug opium. And they did put their little twist on it to incorporate also when Kaoru gets kidnapped by one of Kenshin's former swordsman enemies, and I loved how they incorporated this, and I loved the acting. I loved all the actors and actresses. The actor for Kenshin, can we just take a second to talk about him, because oh my god, he is so gorgeous. He's so gorgeous. I loved how he played Kenshin. He got Kenshin really good. Like, you know, Kenshin is, you know, as a wanderer, he's very like laid back and very kind of, you know, he's funny. He's a little bit ditzy, airhead at times, but I think he puts that act on, and balancing that with when Kenshin gets in serious mode, I loved that. And I loved actually Kaoru's actor. She was really good. I've actually not had a chance to look up who these actors are and actresses and stuff, so I apologize if I've not mentioned particular ones. I will do some research. I liked the little boy who played Yayiko. It was really good. And I liked who played Sanosuke. It was hilarious. Honestly, very entertaining film. I'm so excited to see how they did the other two movies as well. I want the trilogy for myself, but yes, if you've not seen any Kenshin anything, definitely the live action is worth your time. Oh my god, yes, very entertaining. And if you want to watch it, the only site I know that has it right now, like online, is Anime Lab. They have the first movie. If they put the first movie on, that means they're going to put the other two movies on, and I'll be like, yes, yes, yes. The very last thing that I watched in April is a very short series, romance series. I've been dying to watch this since it aired last December, which is Our Love is 10 Centimeters Apart, and that is by the music producer company Honeyworks, which have done the other little films they are, which is I've Always Liked You and The Moment You Fall in Love. All of these are on Crunchyroll, by the way, so you can all go watch them. And this was like the last one from Honeyworks, and actually Honeyworks, if nobody knows, Honeyworks is actually originally they produce Vocaloid music. All these three series were based off of a music cover called Confession Love Committee, sorry. They were based off of Vocaloid songs, and then they turned all of this into an anime, so all of them are really, really cute. Our Love is 10 Centimeters Apart focuses on particular two from I've Always Liked You, their first appearance, which was Haruki and Mio. There was something between the two, but it was never explored until now. And it's 6 episodes long, and it was actually it was a good watch. It was a good enough watch, honestly, for me, but there's just some ridiculous drama that happens between Mio and Haruki, where Mio ends up ignoring Haruki for a stupid reason, which causes some stupid melodrama for probably like the first 3 episodes, and it doesn't become cleared up enough until like episode 5 or episode 6. And it just caused unnecessary melodrama, whereas like they could have done it a different way, bring in a love rival, bring in a childhood friend, bring in those kind of tropes. It would have been I would have been saying right now, it would have been great. But no, they brought in this stupid melodrama that just annoy the crap out of me, I'm sorry to say. Haruki and Mio are very polar opposite. Haruki wants to be a film director, is his dream. He's very outgoing, and Mio doesn't really know what she wants to do. You know, she's shy, reserved, but you know, it's typical high school romance anime traits, plot, and any romance fan, I guarantee, will at least enjoy it. They will, so if you guys want to go watch it, it's on Crunchyroll. And honestly, that is everything I watched in the month of April. Well, that's technically not true. I could talk about something else, but I'm honestly going to leave it until for next month. If you have seen any of the shows I have mentioned, please leave in the comments down below any thoughts you have about any of them. If you enjoyed any of them, if you think some of them are trash, let me know. We can talk about it down below. That is all I got for you guys. Next video is going to be on Akagami Shouryuki Haim. I'm going to be talking about that, why it's in my collection. As always, You can follow me on my blog at Lita Kino. I lost my train of thought then. litakinoanimecorner.com. It's because I've been sitting here talking for like nearly an hour. Oh good god. And it's like 9 o'clock at night. And you can follow me on Twitter at Kino Reviews, where I'm always active all the time. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!